Hi guys, I am OB Dave.
And we are a lovely bunch of YouTubers, dee. Here we are to entertain you. OB Dave, I am Ash, here to make you laugh. You raised that like it was going to be alcohol, mate. If there's alcohol, you should be sharing.
It's 2 in the afternoon. It is a Saturday.
It is a Saturday.
But no, I'm on a Guinness thing at the moment. I've got Guinness in the fridge. If I was drinking anything, it'd be that. So shut your face.
You shut your face.
Some might say that song you just sang was one of the saddest moments in YouTube history.
No, I've done it a few times. People love it. You're just jealous.
Makes me sad.
Well, your choice in women. So that's on you, mate.
Right then, a bit of Sunny V2, but before we get into it, do me a massive favour, like the video, comment anything you want, absolutely anything you want, comment what you're wearing, let us know what you're wearing.
Yeah.
There you go, that's not pervy at all. And yeah, subscribe.
And follow, I find our channel on Patreon as well.
Yeah, there you go. Right then, Sunny V2, the saddest moments in YouTube history. I don't know what to expect from this, but it's new and it just came up and I thought, why not watch it together?
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
I think so.
From Jake Paul to Joe Rogan, these are YouTube's saddest moments, with Linus Tech Tips starting our list with this iconic livestream. He was supposed to be celebrating 10 million subs, yet Linus began the stream with a pretty somber tone.
So yeah, I don't know how it all happened. I've got this following of literally 10 million, and it kind of feels like luck sometimes. I'm probably more like you guys than you realize.
He'd talk about the pressure his work put on his family.
I mean, every time my wife would ask me, how long do we need to keep doing these kinds of hours? Like, how long do we need to keep pushing like this before we can just back off and like have a life? I started with, hey, look, I'm gonna slow down when we have kids. And I said, hey, thanks for basically soloing our first kid. Tell you what, I'll slow down when we have a second one. And then I said I'd slow down when they're old enough to remember that daddy was always working. And then I said I'd slow down when they got to the age where they really need parent involvement to help them with their homework or their sports club or whatever else.
With a story about Make-A-Wish, then bringing Linus to tears.
I had a pretty life-changing experience a little while ago. The kid in question was too sick to travel, and they asked if I could record a personalized video for him. So I picked up my phone, I pointed at myself, and I just tried to think of something to say, and I couldn't. And I looked at their guidelines, and it had just the most useless stuff in it. It was like, be upbeat, and don't talk about death. And I was just like, this kid's 12. He's like dying of leukemia. Like, what? Last thing I can do right now is be upbeat. The only thought going through my head is like, everyone and everything I know is gonna die. All I could see in the photo album was my kids. The whole thing made me question why I'm doing this.
Ironically, the thumbnail became a viral meme, leading to comments such as, came for the memes left with emotions, I'm not crying, I'm just water cooling my eyes, and where men cried. 9. Bradley Martin.
That's really sad.
Yeah. That's tough. Like, how do you do that? Like, this is the thing I think we all forget sometimes with YouTubers is they're not the typical stereotypical famous people who have got managers and are, given guidance on how to behave around the media and obviously their fans.
Yeah,
a lot of the time these are just general people just trying to find a way.
A very small amount of them.
Yeah.
That are at the top level, and even they make mistakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've watched a lot of Linus Tech Tips over the years. I like him.
Yeah.
It's good content.
Never heard of him. What does he do?
It's IT stuff.
Oh, nice.
So guaranteed, your brother, like loads of people will have watched loads.
Okay.
It's just cool tech style content. But it'll be things like water cooling a PC, but in deionized water, you know, which means you can actually put all the components in there. Because it's...
It's deionized. Yeah.
Yeah, but what am I trying to say? Yeah, no, because it doesn't.
I've got a charge.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not conductive.
It's not
Jesus
got a
Christ,
charge.
It's insulator.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised you've never come across him. It's probably the biggest tech channel.
Not a techie person, you know that.
You're a nerd though.
Yeah, but nerd in different situations are.
Brad lost his dad at the age of only 6, which is understandably something he struggles to talk about.
That's the thing, when I think about my dad,
although the saddest example was during his podcast with Tyler Perry.
I don't want to cry. But why would you even hold it? However it feels, you should let it out. Don't do that, man. Let it out how it comes.
Brad was thanking Tyler for some advice he'd given earlier.
People get so caught up in where they're at and in the moment of like the negative and the darkness and the evil, and they don't see the light. It wasn't as simple as what I thought it was then, which was my father didn't love me.
Yeah.
I'm not good.
Yeah.
And I built up so many walls and who I was. It's crazy looking back now how much it affected even my personal relationships, my intimate relationships, my relationships with my family, friends, everything.
And was able to end the moment with an excellent silver lining.
Everything that we go through, every hardship, every downfall is going to be a new opportunity to learn and to grow and to become better.
Hey, Joe Rogan, on episode...
It's a really good statement.
Yeah. I should have known queuing this up with the title of the video, but it's fucking...
But saddest could be a fail saddest or emotional sadness.
Yeah.
So it's hard to
I knew it
predict.
was going to be emotional.
I didn't.
I did. Rogan the other day almost cried talking about cars. And there's a lot of people saying that, like, all of the testosterone stuff and, like, the naughty supplements that he gets from Mexico and stuff might be having an effect.
Sounds like
Because he was
it.
talking about how cars nowadays have got no character versus, like, a 1960 old muscle car and stuff. And he starts choking up, you know, and when he's talking about them, it's like that Bradley was just talking about his dad.
Wow.
It was similar, just talking about cars. And there's a lot of people like, fucking, are you all right, mate?
Yeah,
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
slow down on the supplements, man.
Yeah.
1123 of the Joe Rogan Experience, he and
watched
Kevin
this
Smith were talking about their pets when Joe passively mentioned he saw a veterinarian cry.
He's the only vet I've ever had cry with me.
Over what animal?
I had a puppy that had distemper. Ah, man, the puppy just, after like a couple of days of being at the house, would have these seizures, like violent seizures. And then towards the end, it was having them all day long.
As a result of the dog's condition, it had to be put down.
I held the dog, I placed him down, I gave him a kiss, I said goodbye. And he put the needle in the dog and put the dog to sleep. Then we both went outside, man. He was just crying, just weeping. He was killed by a drunk driver.
The vet was?
Yeah, that was a rough one. I got an email, I believe, from his daughter. Super good dude, man.
Leading Kevin to share a similar story.
It's such a weird relationship where one day you're like, I love you to death and I love you so much I have to kill you. And that last fucking hour was like probably hands down the most difficult hour of my life, man, because we all knew what was coming. And you're programmed to stop that at all costs. You're programmed to keep people around, keep yourself around.
7 Loaf. As a YouTube prankster, it seemed as
It's so hard. I don't know if you've been there for that decision on a pet to end their suffering.
No,
as it is.
I've known enough people who've had to put dogs down and seen how much it affected them, but I've never had a dog or a cat. So it's never... Because smaller animals get given away or they just die or...
See, it's hard because I've gone through a lot of it with the dogs when growing up, but when we left Zimbabwe and my dad had to make a decision about a few of them who weren't well, I refused to go because I couldn't do it. And I do still to this day feel guilty that he went and did it all by himself and the pain he must have felt. But my rats, I know a lot of people don't get it. They don't live for very long. I think the longest rat that I had was my little Cheeky, and she lived for 2 years and 8 months. And when I came home and she was curled up on the bottom of the cage, I have never cried that hard. Like, it broke my heart. She was still partly there, and she just sort of, when I, pulled her into my arms and she just looked up and did like a little boggle, it was sort of like oh, you're here, I can go now. And that was it.
Jesus.
It absolutely broke my heart. Like, and it's been hard to consider getting pets again after that.
Yeah.
But
It's sad, isn't
they
it?
bring happiness, they bring so much joy.
Yeah, well, we had one of the chickens die a few weeks ago, didn't we? And it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's like, if that thing was 8 foot tall, it'd eat me.
I know, yeah,
So
it's true
chickens are
dinosaur.
savage dinosaurs, so it's like, all right, we'll just get another one, or another two in our case.
I agree.
as though Loaf was always having fun. So when he'd post a video titled YouTube Saved My Life with a depressing thumbnail and the following intro,
Failure, loser, and loner are the 3 words that I would use to describe myself.
It seemed the audience was in for something different. Loaf began by stating he had a tough time growing up.
High school was a hard time for me. I was really insecure, I was really unsure of myself. I got bullied pretty bad.
And thought that starting YouTube would help to keep him safe.
If I can make them laugh, like, then they're not gonna hurt me.
However, Loaf struggled to find success.
For a while, it was just terrible, like nothing was happening. I would be embarrassed when people would ask me what I did.
Even feeling like a failure in the presence of his parents.
Like, my parents have never understood, like, the YouTube thing. That's probably, like, the hardest part, because it's just like every kid wants to make their parents proud. You know what I mean?
Since then, however, Loaf has found massive success, recently announcing he was able to buy a house.
And I was able to buy it 100% with cash, which was also a big goal of mine.
6. Syndicate.
Nice.
Similar to Linus, Syndicate was part of the Make-A-Wish program, being chosen by a kid named Alec for them to spend a day together. This resulted in a video titled Making His Wish Come True, in which they flew in a helicopter and became extremely close.
Give me a high five. Did you enjoy the helicopter ride then?
That was amazing.
Syndicate inspired Alec to open his own channel.
Hi everybody.
Is this the one where it was the quickest to 1 million subscribers or something?
No, I think that was different because it wasn't that one. I'm sure it wasn't that one.
I think there's one, or maybe it was like
Actually watched
get
that
him
one.
100,000 before he dies or something.
That was a different. That was someone who wanted to always be a YouTuber, and then he helped push that along and gave him a load of subscribers. He passed away before he could see the numbers. Whereas I think from the sounds of this is him saying, "Do it, come on, let's help." It was a different situation.
I struggle with the kid ones. I'm sure most people do, but like I don't watch. If I can help it, I don't watch Stand Up to Cancer anymore because, you know, it's like it's meant to be deep and it's comedy sketches, but then with other stuff. But whenever they go to the story of one of the kids, and it's like, fuck. The last one I saw was a girl who got cancer, and then I think a little brother got cancer as well. And it was one of them. It was one thing after another, and it was like, fuck, can't watch it.
Some people just get a really bad lot in life,
awful.
don't they?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We're over 200 subscribers already. That's pretty crazy.
However, just 43 days later, Syndicate made a tragic announcement.
They gave me permission to be able to let you guys know that, unfortunately, he did lose his battle, and you know, now he's in a better place because he really wasn't in a good spot. So, like, thank you so much.
5. Kai Cenat. Kai was trying to become Twitch's most subscribed streamer, setting a goal of 80,000 to overtake XQC. When he'd reached the milestone in late 2022, he almost couldn't handle it.
80,000 is crazy. Bro, 80,000 is crazy.
But getting a supportive call from his mum sent Kai over the edge.
Hold on, my mom calling me.
Congratulations, son.
Thank you.
You're number one. And we watching and we're so proud of you, everybody. Babe, I love you so much. Babe, I'm so proud of you. You're number one. And you my son. And I'm so happy to be your mom. And I just want to let the world know that you've been working hard like this for a long time. So they just really now know. They just finding out. My son works hard. He's a grinder every day, every night.
You number one and you my son. And I'm proud to be your mum. Man, straight tears right there. 4. Matthew Santoro.
I got checked up there. That's really nice. The fact that his mum was watching as well is really sweet. And following on the whole journey and everything.
It's a tough one, this, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm getting quite emotional.
He plays Elden Ring, you know.
He's the one that like loses his mind and spends like 40 hours trying to kill the last boss.
Oh, we've watched a few.
Yeah, we've watched a few of them, yeah.
Nicole Arbor was his girlfriend, and they seemed like a healthy YouTube couple. However, 4 months after separating, Matthew uploaded a video titled My Abuse Story.
It's not something people ever talk about, but I feel compelled to because I was in an abusive relationship.
He began by explaining that Nicole was very controlling.
This individual that I was with was extremely jealous. I had to cut every female out of my life, out of social media, delete every number out of my phone.
Before adding he'd been hit by her in the the middle of an argument.
This person prevented me from leaving their home and said, "You're not going anywhere." At which point I was hit in the face.
This caused Matthew to break down crying.
And it's something that men never talk about, because we're made to believe that we're supposed to be strong, and I never talked about it because I thought that no one would believe me, no one would give a shit.
Leading to one of the saddest videos ever uploaded to YouTube.
There's people that love you, and you don't need to be in that relationship. You don't need to be with someone that hates you and uses you and manipulates you to do everything that they want.
3. Jake Paul.
Couldn't agree more.
Been there.
Been there, same. Fucking, and you know, as a guy, when the things he's saying where it's like, fucking people are just like, man up.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, you're not strong enough to, you know, you let a woman do that. I hear you.
You should only ever be with someone who complements your life and you complement theirs.
Agreed.
And also, the more freedom people have in relationships, the better. Because if someone doesn't want to be with you, fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Where it's like the person who wants to be with you will always come back. You don't have to be in each other's pockets all the time.
But it's like I've realised over obviously the course of my life that saying let the one you love let them go.
Yeah.
It means so much more now, because when I was younger I thought it would be, you know, you let them do what they want and they'll come back and love you, you know, in tenfold, or like you break up and you get back together. It's not. It's exactly what you're saying. It's let them have their individuality. Let them be them. That's who you've fallen in love with. So why do you want to alter and change that and control that?
It's the same with being a parent. You know, don't be an overbearing parent that doesn't let your kids do anything. You've got to let them go out into the world and they will come back.
Exactly.
That's the thing, because being overprotective stifles them.
It does.
And same with relationships. Yes, everything, isn't it?
I agree.
You know.
I know.
Ready for this one.
I know.
In late 2019, Jake announced he was basically quitting YouTube to train for a boxing match he'd scheduled against Anderson Gibb. The fight became his sole focus for almost half a year, and while he would eventually win, Jake revealed on Logan's podcast his life felt meaningless after.
Like, I win the fight, right? That was my sole focus and purpose. All of a sudden I get back to LA, I'm by myself, like sitting in the fucking room, and I'm like, what do I do?
In addition to feeling directionless, Jake explained he was dealing with 4 different lawsuits.
And then I wake up the next day, have a phone call like with my lawyers for one of the lawsuits for literally like something I did not do. And it goes back to like people just like attacking Jake Paul and like wanting to see me fail for literally like fucking nothing. Like, they're suing me for something I didn't do. Like, on God. And then...
You're good. Take a break. Take a break.
Yeah, take a breather. We can sit for a second.
Which consumed not only his life, but his family's as well.
My mom is, like, spending hours of her day when she's retired. She's in Hawaii. And they're like, yo, your son has to pay this. Like, it just, like, so stupid.
2. Dan TDM.
That's a tough one, isn't it? Because they come after you if you've got money and fame.
I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I've always thought Jake seems a bit more normal. Not normal, that's probably the wrong word, but a bit more down to earth than Logan.
Yeah, 100%.
But that, I used to be scared of getting letters at one point when I was going through legal stuff, because, and still to this day, if I have a letter on the doorstep that I don't know what it is, I open it within milliseconds because I fucking dread mail. I hate it.
I know.
Because I'm so used to it being shit. And it's like, it's hard to get out of that mind frame.
Suspicious of everything on you.
Yeah.
I get that.
Dan's dog Ellie was a staple in his videos ever since he got her back in 2013. She helped Dan film reaction videos, fashion shows, and even Minecraft content, stealing the hearts of up to 30 million viewers.
Wow.
So when he'd upload a video titled Goodbye Ellie, Dan and his audience were totally devastated.
Yesterday, unfortunately, Ellie died.
He'd explain exactly how Ellie passed.
Stings even more because she went in for an infected tooth. So she had to go in for an operation and she just didn't wake up. Just before we got the phone call that happened, we were already planning like how we were going to work out picking her up when when our operation is finished, and then you just get hit with that.
Calling the loss one of his most difficult challenges.
I know it's a dog, but for us, it's like it's a member of our family, and I'm very lucky. I haven't had a lot of loss in my life, so this is probably the one that's been the hardest. Like, my heart literally hurts.
1. Theo Von and Sean Strickland. There's been many a sad moment on Theo Von.
I watched this. It's only a few months ago.
Is it really?
Yeah, so Sean Strickland is a UFC fighter, but he's a bit of a fucking lunatic. He's absolutely off his chops. But him and Theo just sort of matched each other's energy.
Okay.
And it got really deep.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Von's podcast.
Oh, yeah, dude. We cry on here every week. Sorry, dude. Yeah,
That's beautiful. Yet few compare to episode number 476. Theo and Sean began discussing their childhoods.
I used to always sleep in my mom's room because I thought my dad was gonna kill my mom. So like I would like sleep by the door. I'd sleep
to make sure she was all right.
Yeah, I'd sleep under the bed. You know, I'd sleep by the door.
Yet Sean couldn't finish his story as it was simply too traumatic.
I remember when I stopped believing in God, man. Like I had fucking yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bud.
So, man.
I'm sorry, buddy.
That's all good, dude.
We don't have to talk, man. I can just sit here with you for a minute. I can just sit here. We can just sit here.
It's all good, dude. It takes a second to just process it.
Leading Theo to comfort him by offering his own story.
I remember being so scared when I was a kid. Like I was saying, like I remember hearing that like animal pizza when another animal wouldn't come. So I would stand up on my bed at night and I would pee around my bed in a circle because I was afraid that things were going to get me.
Shit, who were you afraid? Like any particular? Just
everything. I mean, I was just afraid of everything.
God, that's hard. That was a really emotional video. Where did that come from?
Don't know. Regretting it now, though.
I mean, it's good to have a bit of sadness. It's always good to be reminded that it's not all sunshine and flowers and a little bit of anger thrown in there. There's a lot of heartache in our world. A lot that people are going through, and no matter what facade they've got on, you know, what they're posting on their social media, deep down, everybody has something that they're struggling through or suffering with, whether it's past trauma, current trauma, or just, you know, struggling with their own, you know, personality. Like imposter syndrome is huge. I suffer from it massively.
Theo seems like the guy.
Yeah.
Like if I was having a conversation with another man that was going to be hard, Theo seems like the guy because he's so empathetic and so understanding, but also has been through so much himself that he's not joking when he says we cry every week on the podcast. Like, so I listen to it quite regular. I mean, every week's an exaggeration, but it's not uncommon for him to have people on there and there'd be
emotion.
Yeah, because he's like in recovery and part of AA and stuff, and I think a lot of that is group sharing and, you know, being there for each other and stuff. Yeah. Fucking hell.
I know.
Did you make it to the end?
I know,
No. Jesus Christ.
That was incredible.
It was a great video. I'm glad we did it.
I am
But
too.
I just wasn't quite ready for it. I should have saved it for the end.
No, I think it was, like you say, like it's funny that you've put that on when I struggled. No, I've joked on a couple of the videos about being successful and how excited I am about this job, but I suffer quite a lot from imposter syndrome. You know that. I'm very self-critical. And it's been hard. I have to wake up in the morning and sort of look in the mirror and be like, you can do this. You've been employed for a reason. They've chosen you. But deep down, there's that little voice that's constantly screaming, you're a complete fuck up. You're a failure. It's just all, you know, a joke.
It dawned on me years ago that most people don't know what they're doing. And when I realised that, it gave me a lot of comfort with the imposter syndrome, because I was like, I'm no different to the vast majority of people who are just bumbling their way through, because they don't know what they're fucking doing as well.
No.
And the only way to learn is to do it.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of things like, if you're not experienced enough, you don't know what you're talking about. But how do you get to know what you're talking about? You've got to experience things.
And listen and learn from people. Take on other people's like thought processes and information.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Deep video for first time in a long time.
Chopping onions. Jesus
I know,
Christ.
yeah.
Right, make sure you like and subscribe, if nothing else, for that video, for you know, to cheer us up, because we need it.
Definitely.
We'll see you soon. Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys.